Hi, everybody. We're here again for our daily encouragement from the Psalms. Hope it's encouraging anyway. And today we're looking at Psalm number 3. And we think this psalm is from a particular moment of King David's life where he has been betrayed and he's been chased by his son Absalom, who wants to kind of overthrow him. And here's how it begins. It says, "O Lord, how many are my foes? Many are rising against me. Many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for him in God." And then there's Selah, which means pause in this psalm. Folks, just look at that. David is saying, there's so many foes against me. Many are rising against me. He is basically saying, it's overwhelming what I'm dealing with right now. There's no possible way that I can stand against this. And this is David, King David. David who killed the lion and the bear. David that killed Goliath. David that they sang, Saul has killed his thousands, but David has tens of thousands. This is no wimp, King David. And even he is overwhelmed by this situation. And it goes further. It says, many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for him in God. So not only is David perceiving his own situation as hopeless, but everybody else is as well. They're basically saying, even God can't help this guy. Okay, that's how bad this situation is perceived to be. And folks, I guess we know what that's like, don't we? We're anxious at this moment. Maybe some of us more anxious than we've ever been, and everything we're looking at on social media and we're listening to on TV and everything other people are saying to us really just makes it sound possibly even more hopeless. But here's the thing: there's a Selah here, a pause, and in that pause, David reconnects with the fact that he's like a tree planted by streams of living water. He's able to connect with something deeper than his own thoughts and the thoughts of others. He's able to connect with the thoughts of God. So while those other bits are, in a sense, fire alarms, smoke alarms, there's a problem, you're in trouble, it's difficult. The thermostat of David's life is set to what God thinks, God's perception, what God has said, what God has promised. And what does David says after, what does he say after his Selah moment, his pause moment? He says, but's very important. But you, O Lord, are a shield about me. You are my glory and the lifter of my head. It's so important, isn't it, that we do that? We hear the smoke alarm, but then we go, but the thermostat is, he's a shield about us. He's the glory. He's the lifter of our heads. I love that concept of he's a shield about us. There's a song at the moment, and it says, it might look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Like, it looks like I'm defined by my enemy, but I am defined in a greater way by my God. It's like we live our lives often in Psalm 23 language under the shadow of death. We're living in the valley of death to some extent. We're often in this place. Life is fragile, of course. But then we have this greater picture of we are safe in the shadow of his wings. We sing in the shadow of his wings. His shadow is bigger than the shadow of death or fear or whatever else. It may look like we're surrounded, but we're surrounded by him. And what David says is, it's overwhelming, it's difficult, pause. But he's a shield about me. He is my glory and the lifter of my head. How many of us need our heads to be lifted right now from social media, from our own thoughts, from the thoughts of others, to the thoughts of God? How many of us need our head lifted up like that? And when David has his head lifted up, here's what it says: I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. And then David pauses again to think about how God is going to answer him. And then he lies down and sleeps. It tells us in verse 5. That's my prayer, that many of us would sleep really well tonight with the peace of God, knowing that He's a shield about us. That it might look like we're surrounded, but we're surrounded by Him. That we're under the shadow, the greater shadow of His wings and His care. It says, I lay down and slept. Why? It says, I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. That's my prayer for you, that you'll wake up knowing that you've been sustained by God. And listen to this, for a change from that early verse about being overwhelmed. It says, I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around. David's thinking is now being defined by God's view and God's promises and God's perception and God's power and God's sovereignty and all of that. It might look like he's surrounded, but now he's realized he's surrounded by a greater shadow and a greater God. And then he begins to pray. And folks, I just want to really pray these things over us now. He says, arise, O Lord. Save me, O my God. For you strike all my enemies in the cheek. Like a headshot is an important blow. And David is trusting God to actually deliver him. It says you break the teeth of the wicked. You know, the teeth are a real threat. Even a little dog with sharp teeth can hurt us. He's saying, I want you to deliver us, and I want you to take away the threat of this thing, and the threat of this opponent and this enemy that stands against me. And then he finishes with amazing words. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing be on your people. Here's my prayer, that we wouldn't just be saved and delivered in these days, but that the church would be blessed like never before. Folks, it might look like we're surrounded, but we're surrounded by Him. It might look like we're overwhelmed and we're hopeless, but we have God, and He is hope by definition, salvation and blessing. So trust Him today. In Jesus' name, Amen.